Give a warm welcome to Delaware's Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know. Do I need the mic? Can you hear me in the back? Awesome. Because I like to move around. Okay. So I want to first thank Adjutant George because he is at least is humble to me in all of the things that he has accomplished for so many people. And so I want to just show him some love. Adjutant. Like he said, I have like 1 minute, and if I had 1 minute, I'm trying to think what could I put in it. And I want to first say how excited and proud I am to be here and to see something that has been just nationally recognized, but hopefully soon to be internationally recognized, because what you're doing here, I think, could work around the world. And so I want to thank you for that. You know, it's funny because Adjutant really was like saying to me, people need to understand where folks come from. And maybe why I work so hard in Washington is because of being born in the 1960s. you know, right? You feel me? We were born in the 60s, and it was a time of coming out of the civil rights movement, Black Power movement, women's movement, and it was about trying to make, and the ecology movement. We were talking about the environment, but we were calling it the ecology, and it was about making the world better. But I grew up in a family with a dad who really just inspired us, and who didn't come from a lot. And we were talking to Anthony and Devin about how we came from Philly. We were born in Philly in the 60s. My dad actually grew up in a single parent household. There were 4 of them, and he was the first to graduate from high school, the first in his family to graduate from college. He had us girls and had to depend on food stamps, had to depend on public housing. We lived in the Champlain projects in Philadelphia. He got his real big break moving to Delaware in 1969 to work at People's Settlement. People's Settlement. And for us, it's always been about love and community and people and uplifting the world. And I start that because I want you to know that when I go to Washington, it informs all the work that I do. When I'm fighting on the Agriculture Committee for resources, or when I'm fighting to break the cycle, this new bill that we just introduced for it's actually a $5 billion bill, but $1.5 billion is focused on things like entrepreneurship and apprenticeships and giving young people a chance to have opportunity, just like here. It all comes from that place. And today I'm inspired. I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by you. I'm inspired by everyone in this place to do the work that we're doing now. I do this also because we're in a really tough time in our country. We went through a pandemic. We saw a lot of people die. We also saw a push for racial justice in this country. And they always talk about stay woke. Well, you can't stay woke if you aren't awake, if you don't see. And so some of you might have even seen me in the balcony when that insurrection broke out. I was one of the people trapped in the balcony. And I remember at a certain point, after we were told to crawl on the floor, to get down low and to grab those gas masks, and I looked down over the balcony and saw below me people at one door with guns pointed, trying to hold the line there, and then a gunshot at the other door. And I remember thinking, what do I do now? And for me, when it came upon me to pray, I remember feeling all of our ancestors. I thought about, how did people make it through slavery? How did people make it through Jim Crow? How do we make it through mass incarceration? And I prayed in that moment. And somebody transcribed it. They read my lips. I don't know how they did it. But I started with this scripture that all things work together for the good, even the bad things. So even if you needed that second chance because something happened and you were in the wrong place at the wrong time or did the wrong thing, that bad thing is not just for your good, but your child's good, your community's good. When I started running for office, I ran at the death of my husband. He ruptured his Achilles tendon playing a game of basketball, and blood clots went to his heart and lungs at 52 years old. Vegetarian, worked out every day, kind, smart, funny, and it broke my heart. All things. I saw other people were hurt, mad, sad, angry, and I said, I'm okay. I have a house to live in. I got family. My sister Marla is here with me right now, my baby sister, who is a professor at Rutgers. All things. Marla, 2 years ago, suffered a stroke, paralyzed her whole left side of her body. Today she's standing there. She's holding that camera in her hand. And she's now one of the top professors at Rutgers teaching about social justice. All things, even if you are going through, I've been through a divorce, I've been widowed, whatever you've been through, it's for this moment and the work that you're doing right now. You are saving people's lives. You are giving them hope. These brothers, when they talk to us, you can see a spirit of joy, purpose, love. That's what you're doing here. So don't forget that. When it gets tough and you start feeling like, I don't know how we're gonna make it, I don't know where the money's gonna come from, I don't know. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. When Charles, my husband, was dying and I asked God, why are we here? One thing, to love. To love. When you love somebody, you don't want to see them in prison. When you love somebody, you don't want to see them homeless. You don't want to see them hungry. You don't want to see them scared. Love. That's it. Love yourself, even when you don't feel lovable. When I was running, I never ran for anything. And I was debating lawyers and they were like making fun of me on social media. Said I looked like a deer in the headlights, because I was scared. But I would stand in the mirror and I would say, good morning, Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. I hadn't even won yet. Love yourself. Love each other, especially the people that are unlovable to you. That's the hard part. It's easy to love people you love. Love the planet. And that's why I love what you're doing here too. You're loving the planet. You're growing things. Love the planet. And if you believe in God, love God. That's it. That's it. So I thank you. I thank you, Adjit. I love you, Adjit.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you, Anthony. I love you, Devin. I love you, Miss Patty. I love you. And I thank you for what you do. I will be back. Please. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. I will be back.
Lisa, as you're leaving, I want to get a quick picture with you and your sister
Thank
here
you
with
so
me.
much. Thank you so
Alexander,
much
if you
for
could just
what
get a
you
picture